Alright, welcome back to 12s and a Trenchcoat. I'm in Hearts 3, and today we are back in Dragon Age 2. Last time we did Meryl's quest, and I'm pretty sure... Never mind. I have to talk to Meryl to do these. But we did Mirror Image for Meryl, and then we had ran out of time, so I wasn't able to do both of these. But, with this should be like the last things that we'll have to do for companions in Act 2, unless we get another questioning beliefs. But I think we've gone through all of them, or all of the ones that are available. So yeah, all of them. But today, I had a few things planned, or like an idea for what I wanted to do for this episode, but I wasn't all too sure about how I wanted to go about it. So what I'm thinking is we'll either do like Offered and Lost and then go explore Sundermount, because I haven't done that this time, and I forgot to do it at the end of Act 1 with like everything that was happening. But there are a few chests up there and things, so I want to go and get those before the end of the act, which I wanted to do last act but couldn't or forgot to. But I think in this episode we'll do Offered and Lost. I don't know how long it's going to take us to go through it. It's a main plot quest, so I'm not all too sure. But if we can, we'll go explore Sundermount. And if not, then I'll leave exploring Sundermount before we do like whatever happens to be the last quest before Act 2 ends, and we begin Act 3, which is the final act of the game. And of course, my goal is to make sure that I document all of the reagents and things that you can find for this supplier achievement. So there is that. So if there's any on Sundermount, then we'll definitely be showing it. I do need to go through the Wounded Coast, I'm pretty sure, but we can always leave that for a later date. We don't have to do that now, or I can save that for, I can do like a little walkthrough to see if there's anything that needs to be picked up, and then do like a dual video of like exploring Sundermount and Wounded Coast. But that's pretty much up in the air. I'm not all too sure. So for today, do the rest of Meryl's companion quests, and then do Offered and Lost, the main plot piece of Act 2. One of the main plot pieces of Act 2. Okay, I'm thinking of just going over there on my own. Yeah. So I can just go straight into Meryl's house anyway. I don't know which one's gonna trigger first. So, yeah. Here we go.
Hawke, I could never have faced the Keeper myself. I never imagined a human would help me restore Dalish history. No one ever understood. Not the Keeper, not my clan. Just you.
When the Eluvian is finished, they'll appreciate all you've done for them.
It's all right. Even if they hate me forever, I'll know I helped them. You're the first real friend I've ever had. Masaranas, Lethalan.
Hey. Because that was back from Sundermount. So let's do questioning beliefs.
Oh, Hawke. Come in. I was just... Am I crazy?
What? No, of course not.
I thought their rule in a home would fix everything. The mirror would work and everything would be right again. But I keep dreaming of Paul's face. Everyone that I care for thinks I'm a monster.
What happened in that cave wasn't your fault. Paul did that to himself.
I know. But I caused it, or the clan did, filling his head with terrible stories about me. You're a true friend, Hawke. I'll find a way to make this up to you, Lethalan. That's a promise.
Oh, I thought I was stuck behind the chair. I was like, no, Meryl, please, if you're gonna make it up to me, please let me go. But alright. I don't know what my... She's not in my party either. Let's just get her into the party so I can... So I can figure out... Okay, yeah, we're like 100% friendship with her. So I was like, man, I'm not getting any approval points, like, at all. And yeah, that's why we're like 100% friend. Which is kind of interesting, because, I mean, I guess I take her places, but at the same time I don't. Wait, no. Let's check some other people. Bella Anders. They have level up, so we'll do with those. Okay. I mean, we're getting close with Isabella. It's not like super duper high, but the slightest little tick off could probably send us back to the center. 100% with Aveline, and 100% with Anders. So we need to take Aveline more places. Let's check. I'm pretty sure Varric is 100%. I can't check Carver's, but I guess it doesn't matter. Yes. Alright, Fenris has a level up, so let's deal with that. Okay, 100% friendship with Fenris, and 100% friendship with Varric. Okay. Varric, I'm pretty sure I already knew. It was just trying to figure out what was going on with Fenris. But, yeah, if anything, the person we have to get up is Isabella, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, we have to take Isabella more places. That's all. Okay. I think when we first started this mission, Aveline had expressed some, not really like interest, but, you know, being the captain of the guard, kind of like a, hey, why wasn't this brought to, you know, the guard's attention? But, yeah, so I think putting her on this would be good. Yes, so I think having her, Varric, and Fenris would be a good thing. Means I'm playing party mage this evening. 2 warriors at my back. Alright, we're all in Meryl's place. Meryl's right there. Hello, Meryl. Goodbye, Meryl. Let me drop a save. Alright. So... Man Knight. Offered and lost. Well, the Braggart. Alright. Man's is armored up.
Rich spending. It's a bit over your head, isn't it?
That's right, pal. Tonight I'm paid and blessed, and all I had to do was turn my head. To all my friends, hey, step back. I know important people. We're gonna show this city what to do with heathen Oxman.
Guard Captain, would you like to have a word with your man?
Guard captain?
Who?
What?
Who?
Who what? I don't...
Who bought you? Who bought the honor of a proud guard of Kirkwall and made him a drunken Mabari bitch?
I don't know. He was a Templar, I swear. He had the seal of the Grand Cleric and everything. It's true.
The penalty for abandoning your post is 10 days on the wall. I expect you to report in the morning. There's your answer. A Templar. With the Grand Cleric's seal, no less. Well done.
I'm sorry. I don't think I say it enough. Aveline's just freaking cool. Alright? I don't think I say that enough. I don't know what I was expecting when I was like, hey, oh, that's a lot of people. Frick. I was like, hey, so, you wanted to have a chat with your guy, and I don't know why I didn't click that that guy was, like, a part of the captains or, like, part of, like, the guard, and just having her step in, just like, dang, you're really cool. Alright. If you don't have her with you, and you don't intimidate him, and you can't, I think you have, like, you can persuade him, but if you can't, you'll have to end up fighting him in order to get information, which is, cue in to all the people sitting right here. The good part about that, or the interesting part about that, is that most people in this pub will join in. That means Varric will join in if he's here and not in your party, and so will Isabella if she's also not in your party. So, I mean, if you want to have an all-out brawl in the Hangman Tavern pub, then have at it. Seems like it'd be very fun. But we have our information. A Templar. Alright. Back to the Chantry, I suppose.
So, you're taking the captain of the guard to accuse the Grand Cleric of funding zealots?
Do you want to stay home?
It's a careful chat about missing Kunari. Some days, Hawke. The Grand Cleric, please. Tell her it concerns the Kunari.
Serah Hawke.
Patrice.
Sister Patrice.
Mother Patrice. Time has changed us both. Grand Cleric Elfina cannot grant an audience to just anyone. What do you want?
Funny how you and issues with the Kunari seem to go together.
And you always assume their side. I was naive when last we met. I did not want you dead, but I felt a death was necessary. That may be too fine a point for you to understand, but you must admit, you came out the better for it.
A Templar may have misjudged an order and abused the Grand Cleric's authority.
I assure you, the Templars would never embarrass the Chantry, at risk of the Knight Commander's wrath.
Men were hired for the righteous task of kidnapping a Kunari delegate. A pause that says you knew. But does her grace?
The Grand Cleric trusts her stewards to enact the wishes of the Maker.
I'll speak to her grace another time. You will not always be here.
Stubborn. All right, Serah Hawke. If you won't abandon this, let me offer you something. The Templar you seek is a radical who has grown unreliable. Confronting him may do us all a favor.
And he is what to you?
He is my former bodyguard, Ser Vonel. Assume what you wish, but I offer him to you as reconciliation. Meet me at this location. I invite you, Serah Hawke. Come see the unrest these Kunari have inspired.
Need I say I'm skeptical? It's her game, for the moment.
Girls playing 4D chess and no one's at the table. Like, we all left. We're tired of your games.
Give me strength.
Alright, just looking around the Chantry a little bit. This is where we saw, this is where we started Anders' quest, if I remember correctly. Ooh. In the back room upstairs, there is a chest. Locked complex. With 22 silver, 42 copper, a vial of holy water, and ornate enchanted staff. For this to seem like a holy place, the music here is downright sinister. Okay, there's another door on the opposite side with a crate with a flawed diamond in it. And then on the table on the left side of the statue, there's like a platform with more beds and dresser and boxes and crates. There's an evil tome. Found one of Taroni's books. The pages are filled with secrets of blood magic. You see strings of power as you look upon it. Oh, what? No. No. Who is this person? Taroni's books. Okay. If I'm remembering this correctly, I know I'm probably saying her name wrong, but she is the one that was a part of the quest, Enemies Among Us, who was like putting demons or abominations into Templars to kind of just like freak them out, I suppose. It's probably more in depth than that, but I bet she wasn't doing it as like a fun party trick. Anyway, she was the one with like the really bright lilac lipstick. Yeah. Apparently she had like some books. If you spare her, she sends you a letter leading to the first book, I'm pretty sure. If you don't, you have to be lucky enough to just be scavenging around and find one of the books on the ground. There are 5 in total, if I am recalling correctly. And this is the first one I'm finding. And for me, that's not really boding well. But hey, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find the other ones. But maybe we won't, and we won't ever find the other ones. But I'm pretty sure this quest is connected to the achievement Exorcist. So, what I'm gonna do for this is, when it comes time for it, I'm gonna destroy all the books because I just feel like they aren't really my sort of thing. Yeah, it's full of blood magic. Probably not the best, so I'm gonna destroy the book. Oh, great.
Let's finish this!
Oh god, I didn't even see her there. Okay, the Desire Demon had an ornate demonic belt. Now there's just a ton of abominations on the ground, but yeah. Not my problem anymore, not really my fault. So yeah, we'll just have to remember to be on the lookout for those tomes, which are something else that we'll have to be on the lookout for, because I don't think we found all of the Band of 3 artifacts or dialogue pieces yet. Oh. And going up to the altar, or I guess altar, there's not really a plinth or whatever. Okay, but going up to the base of the giant statue that is in this room, we get Andraste, Bride of the Maker. There was only a tiny fishing village. Oh, there was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Mithrathis, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was a child, Andraste. She was raised in slavery in the foreign land. She escaped, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She arose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in Tevinter. The false gods of the mountains and winds did not answer her, but the true God did. The Maker spoke. He showed her all the works of his hands, the Fade, the world, and all the creatures therein. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, and that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return, to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed and to give men another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Matherith, and told him all that the Maker had revealed to her. Together they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the mage lords of the Imperium, and the Maker with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself, fire and flood, famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker. They heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew until they were vast tide washing over the Imperium. And when Matherith saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon it. At last, the armies of Andraste and Matherith stood before the very gates of Minrathous. But Andraste was not with them, for Matherith had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to Vinter. For this, the Archon would give Matherith all the lands to the south of the Waking Sea. And so, before all the armies of the Alamari and up to Vinter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Matherith, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him, and Our Lady sits still at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. From the Sermons of Justinia II. So yeah, the story in, well, not exactly Spark Notes, I think in like the more fullest that we have seen it, in the most that we have seen it since Dragon Age Origins, because there's like in Dragon Age Origins, it's like there's talk of Andraste. The religion itself is put into place. There's chantries everywhere. They're singing the chant. The different like versions of it, not really versions, but like there's Therodes, there's the Chant of Light, benedictions, trials, the whole thing. There's ones that have been lost to time or dashed from the chant because of reasons, because they're prejudiced, they hate the elves. Either way, like, seeing it, the only time we actually got the story of Andraste was when we did the quest for the Urn of Sacred Ashes, and we had to go through the trials in order to get to the urn itself. There are people giving riddles who are like embodiments of spirits of the people that were involved in the story of Andraste. So you meet the Archon, Matherith, a few people who were like not really her steward, but like her right-hand man, people who were there, the Archon's wife, the whole thing, her mother. It's like it's told in pieces from like a personal standpoint, but this is like the actual like, hey, this is what happened, and this is how the Chantry documents what happened. That sort of thing. So, yeah. I'm gonna go out and say it already. I love the religion that's set, because it's the most in-depth religion I have ever come across in a video game before. Like, most video games can't do, I won't say they can't do religion correctly, but it doesn't go into like the depth that this is, and I guess just because it like spans these series of games, that it has a chance to really dig deep and actually have like a lore that just isn't in and of itself a religion, but is actually spread amongst its people, and how people in it react, people who are outside of it react to it, and how it is perceived from different like versions and over the years, if that makes any sense. All I'm saying is, I like a well-written religion in a video game. That's just the short long of it, I suppose. It adds depth. People believing in something, and it's not just like paper
You were very
thin.
close to losing your printing blocks, Varric.
Once more, I am falsely accused of whatever it is I am accused of. Falsely.
Someone swapped the text of my recruitment poster with some filth from the Blooming Rose.
Ooh, that does sound pretty good.
Sure. Fill the barracks with whores. But you've also filled the Rose with guards.
It is true what they say. The best comedy comes from tragedy.
Dear heavens. Okay. We can't go up there, that is chained. Oh, there's another door over here. We can't go up there, that is chained. Okay. We are done in the chantry. Where are we going next? Oh, shoot. Oh, we can only go to his refuge. It's only open during the daytime. Alright, let's head over there. She was very quick to throw him under the bus. Let's just say that right now. I mean, not like super duper quick, but once she learned that we probably weren't going to drop it, she was very quick to just throw him under. Like, she was like, alright, fine. You won't drop it? Then how about I offer you a not so peaceful solution? Okay? What if I gave you my right-hand man who is seemingly out of control? On his own volition, out of control. Which I say, alright, ma'am. Oh, shoot. There is one thing that I wanted to do. Oh, no. I'm going to reload the save. Because there's one thing that I forgot to do. Okay. Well, let's say that that she's not here. I'm pretty sure there is a way to talk to the Grand Cleric. Somehow, I haven't been able to figure that out. She might just be around and I just missed her. But I did want to go back to the docks to talk to the Quinari. And I wanted to relay to the Arishok what was happening.
Enter if you must.
I must, and I will, and I shall. Excuse me? It's always so funny walking up here because he's just here with the boys, and I'm just...
What
it's
do
probably
you
not
want,
that
Hawk?
simple at all.
I have no interest in adding to my distractions.
And yet you sent a delegate to the Viscount.
A brief attempt to educate. If the dwarf had stolen the Sarkamek, it could have been used to show the price of greed. But you know the outcome of that. These fools are determined to be wrong. I won't waste the effort again.
A courtesy, Arishok. The delegate and his guards are missing.
Anyone else, and those words would have been their last. You are handling this, not your buffoon of a Viscount.
I am.
Then I will wait. But know this, the provocations we have suffered have worked. If this is not resolved, I can fulfill my duty to the Qun with far less annoyance by sifting through rubble.
As if there wasn't enough pressure.
Yeah. So, in order to... I'm pretty sure there's an achievement that coincides with whatever's happening with this sort of plot line or storyline that's going on right now. Is gaining the respect of the Arishok. So, that's what I'm doing right now by just relaying to him what's happening. But, yeah. So I'm actually gonna go back to the Chantry, because I'm not all too sure if there is a way to find her. I mean, that might be her at the end, but I'm not all too sure. That could literally just be anybody. But, drop a quick save here.
Blondie, Sunshine, Daisy, Ravani. What am I?
Beg your pardon?
You don't call anyone by name except for me. Where's my nickname?
That's not true. There's Hawk and Bianca.
Hawk is a family name, and Bianca is a crossbow. Don't change the subject.
Haven't thought of a good one yet. What do you think of Red?
Too common.
Well, when you think of one, let me know.
That is true. I don't think he's ever given Aveline, like, a nickname. And I'm not here to speak to Patrice. That is the last thing I want to do. Unless she was up here and I just didn't go. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, she was just right here. Exploring does wonders for the mind, people. Let me just say that. Okay, so we have a few things here, actually. So we'll first look over the history of the Chantry, Chapter 2. When the prophet Andraste and her husband Mathrith arrived at the head of their barbarian horde, southern Tevinter was thrown into chaos. The Imperium had defended against invasions in the past, but now they stood without the protection of their gods, with their army in tatters and their country devastated by the blight. Many felt that the timing of the invasion was yet another of the Maker's miracles in Andraste's campaign to spread his divine word. Andraste was more than simply the wife of a warlord, after all. She was also the betrothed of the Maker, enraptured by the melodic sound of her voice as she sang to the heavens for guidance. The Maker himself appeared to Andraste and proposed that she come with him, leaving behind the flawed world of humanity. In her wisdom, Andraste pleaded with the Maker to return to his people and create a paradise for the world of men. The Maker agreed, but only if all the world would turn away from the worship of false gods and accept the Maker's divine commandments. Armed with the knowledge of the one true God, Andraste began the exalted march into the weakened Imperium. One of the Maker's commandments, that magic should serve man rather than rule over him, was as honey to the souls of the downtrodden of Tevinter, who lived under the thumbs of the Magister. Words of Andraste's exalted march, of her miracles and military success, spread far and wide. Those in the Imperium who felt the old gods had abandoned them eagerly listened to the words of the Maker. Those throngs of restless citizens that destroyed temples now did so in the name of the Maker and his prophet Andraste. As Mathrith's armies conquered the lands of southern Tevinter, so did Andraste's words conquer hearts. It is said that the Maker smiled on the world at the Battle of Valerian Fields, in which the forces of Mathrith challenged and defeated the greatest army Tevinter could muster. The southern reaches of the mighty Imperium now lay at the mercy of the barbarians. Faith in the Maker, bolstered by such miracles, threatened to shake the foundations of the Imperium apart. Of course, the human heart is more powerful than the greatest weapon, and when wounded, it is capable of the blackest of deeds. From Tales of Destruction of Thedas by Bertha Genetivi, Chantry Scholar. Okay, so now we have another side, but most of all of like the chant that like comes to a close is always like, ah yes, the heart. So true. So good. And when inspired can do miraculous things, close to miraculous things, maybe even wonders. But oh, lo, how darkness encroaches upon thee, how its heart is twisted and put into shadow, because Mathrith betrayed his wife. And it's just kind of like man, the last part of the chant is always to freaking make sure that Mathrith's been punched. Like, if he wasn't punched in any other of the verses, they make sure that the ending is always and Mathrith lived terrible for the rest of his days, and probably tripped and fell, and it was really embarrassing. Also, he was stupid. That sort of thing. Probably, not exactly that sort of thing, but obviously that last part is, like, him. It's supposed to mean him. But anyway, I digress. The Sermons of Divine Renata first. The weakness of mortal will is the greatest failing of all the Maker's children. We trade our honor as if it were the cheapest of currency. We do not understand what integrity is or what it is truly worth. For this ignorance, original sin was born. At some time, each of us has thought, what does it matter if I keep hold of my integrity? I am but one mortal. I am powerless. How blind we all are. The virtue of a single slave destroyed the Tevinter Imperium. The dishonor of one man drove the Maker from our sight. I tell you truly nothing, but the integrity of our hearts will win the love of the Maker back to us. It is all the power we shall ever possess to change this world for good or for ill. From the Sermon on Integrity. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. That's a tall statue. But at the base of the actual statue, surrounded by candles, is the Maker. For there was no word, for heavens or for earth, for sea or sky, all that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word. His word became all that might be, dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities, and from it made his firstborn. And he said to them, in my image I forge you. To you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done. Then in the corner of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestone, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with golden light, reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners that flew on their own. And the voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, in my name I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, never changing. And he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn, and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever-changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. At last did the Maker, from the living world, make men, immutable as the substance of earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, to you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fade I crafted you, and to the fade you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me. And then the Maker sealed the gates of the golden city, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Theranodes 5, verses 1 through 8. So yeah, that is the story of the Maker making his first children, who I'm pretty sure would go on to be the spirits, and some would even become the old gods, and then making the second children, which are people who dwell on Thedas, or on this planet. Earth? Real Earth? Doesn't matter. Either way, him creating us and him giving us the spark of the divine, which he failed to do with the spirits. And the spirits didn't like that, but the rest of that is quite literally history. Okay. I'm gonna drop a quick save, just in case that all goes poorly. Grand Cleric Ilfina? I think in Act 1 we see her like at a glance, or like the beginning of Act 2. No, in Act 2, I don't actually remember, but we do see her in passing at some point.
Your grandparents would be so proud of you. When I was a girl, the Amels were one of our most prominent families. I'm glad to have one of their line in the estate again. How can I help you?
Oh shoot. There's a lot here. We'll just stick strictly with, like, the plot, and we'll probably end up coming back, but...
Did you know someone used the authority of your name to instigate a crime against the Qunari?
The path to righteousness is never as straight and narrow as we wish. I truly hoped this would not go so far, but do not trouble yourself. I will step in when it's time.
What do you mean when it's time? I think it's time right now, but I mean, sure, if we are to shuffle our feet and twiddle our thumbs.
I'd always welcome your benediction.
Andraste, guide your steps in this difficult time.
Okay, Grand Cleric Ilfina. Pretty sure that's who she is. I know you get more in-depth stuff if you get the DLC that gives you the companion, Sebastian Vale, but I'm not doing that. So, yes. Anyway, let's move on and find this Sir Varnell.
Have to hand it to this Varnell. Nice place for an extremist rally.
Patrice is here somewhere.
That's great.
How do we know that Patrice is here somewhere? Like, I thought I could hear something when we first showed up, but I'm not. Before we go too far, there is a chest.
Now that's
Marked
just rude.
standard.
What are they trying to do? Ruin my boots?
I'm sorry, did that disarm that by standing on it too? Heavens. Anyway, in the chest is a cracked Templar insignia, Stitchmaker, and ornate ring.
Doing that.
Okay. Moving on.
They are absent from the eyes of the Maker.
Okay, man.
Like any beast, remove the fangs and it is lost. They are weak before the faithful of the Maker. The only certainty in their precious Qun is death before the righteous.
Sir Varnell!
Take a knee, faithful. The Chantry blesses us.
You claim a blessing when you have used the authority of the Grand Cleric so openly? You have brought wrath down upon you. You remember Serah Hawk?
Oh, don't stand behind me.
The Qunari have friends, Templar. How will you answer their allegations?
You want to fight? Face someone whose weapons are not bound.
Righteous! Destroy them!
Of course, Patrice flees. Typical Patrice. There are a lot more people in here than I thought originally.
Face me! I stand for all of...
Oh my gosh, Varric is dead. I didn't even realize that Varric was dead just now. I can't use revival for some reason. Specific sustain mode. Okay, I'm missing something that allows me to use those, but...
All right. Time to bring this mess to the Viscount's attention.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Madness! Madness!
Yes, Excellency.
Chantry involvement. Even if they are fringe elements. Oh, it could not be worse. You killed them? All of them?
This group, at least, is crippled.
Then that, at least, is something. Not that it matters now. We have the delegate, but I can't return the bodies to the Qunari in this state. Serah Hawke, you know the Arishok. What should I do?
Okay, in this we are given another choice into gaining the Arishok's favor. Burning the bodies, I'm pretty sure, leads to a different side quest, marked from the Fixer, who will send you a letter, but not hiding it, stating that he'll probably know, no matter what, will end up gaining favor with him. So if you're trying to go for gaining favor with the Arishok, then not hiding it is the way to go.
Hiding this would only make it worse.
It would, wouldn't it? I'm losing my sense of how to balance this nightmare. I appreciate your help in this matter. As bad as this is, it could have been much worse without you. Kirkwall owes you. I owe you.
I think the Viscount needs, like, a vacation or something. I'm not gonna lie. But we can go around, we can loot. We get 3 Sovereign for completing that, but we can report back to the Arishok afterwards. But, oh, right, you're injured. I am so sorry, Varric. I am being a terrible party mage right now. Not full position. Drink it. There you go. I need to figure out what's stopping me from using the heal stuff. Because I don't know why I can't use this stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm supposing, like, we'll figure it out. Stain spells. Oh, I can always use Healing Aura, but, you know. Yeah, next time we'll get back into Healing Aura and whatnot. But anyway, we can go around, we can loot everything. Excuse me, Aveline. 4 silver, 41 copper. 4 silver, 20 copper. Polished silver spoon. Sir Varnell had 22 silver, 26 copper, and River's Wave on his corpse. And with that, I think that is it. So, with everything looted, everything seen, we can leave this place. Oh wait, no, there's a crate at the top of the steps with a shield of the knight herself. New quest, the shield of the knight herself. Interesting. Nope. Journal. Companions. Oh. The shield may be of some interest for Aveline, as it is attributed to her namesake. Give it to her back at the barracks. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, the knight herself, that might be Aveline, and then it gave me the quest, and I was like, oh, okay. I can just give it to her anyhow. Forbidden knowledge, the sword tomes, the dark magic hidden in and around Kirkwall. Yes. So we'll just have to locate those, which I might do on a quest all on its own, but who knows. Fenris is walking in one motion, but that's alright. We can report back to a few things. It didn't seem like Athena cared much. When it came to that, but we'll go back to the docks so we can talk to the Arishok at least.
Enter if you must.
So you could not rescue my delegate, but you killed those responsible. How do you explain the condition of their bodies?
Okay, and with that, just talking to him, we get the achievement, A Worthy Rival, which is gaining max approval with the Arishok.
A fanatic used them to incite others of his kind.
I accept that.
I expected worse.
I have seen every vice and weakness of your kind, and how few of you take responsibility. Your Viscount remains a fool, but you are not. Panahedan, Hawke. I will keep one good thought about your kind.
Oh. hear that, Varric? We'll keep one good thought about my kind. Our kind. Okay, with that, we'll leave. And go talk to Sister Patrice. Or Mother Patrice, whatever she wants to call herself these days.
We're here to serve the Maker.
You do not like your name.
My name is a wish my father made, and I did want to be a knight, but...
I see. Still, it's a good name. A strong name.
What were you named after?
I don't know my real name. My master called me Fenris, his little wolf.
Could you not call yourself something different now?
Couldn't you?
A fine point. Hello, Mother Patrice.
All the venom she can muster.
Sirrah Hawke, it is good to see you. The shame that Varnell brought his order is most unfortunate. Praise the Maker that you were his champion in that dark place.
You knew exactly what was going to happen in there.
Hawke, you're standing between the righteous and the heretical. You're not going to make friends.
I'd settle for being able to trust the people I already know.
I gave you what you wanted at considerable cost. Varnell is more manageable as a martyr, but his loss will be felt. You have avenged heretical Qunari with human blood. Surely that is good enough for you.
You're no more satisfied than I am.
Varnell was a fool, but the facts remain. An offense to the Maker goes unchallenged. I will give you no further cause to shame the Chantry today, but we will have this argument again. The Viscount's incompetence all but guarantees it.
Sometimes, you just know trouble is coming.
Say that again, Varric. She wants me to let it go. Me, of all people, to let it go. When she's having it hanging around her neck like fine jewelry. Okay. Oh man. If anything, I should return home.
I hope all is well. No attacks, no disasters, no out-of-control enchantments. It's a good day.
It is a... Yeah, sure. I'd say it's a good day. My house isn't destroyed. It's a good day. Oh. I don't know why he faces that door constantly. But, yeah. As we sit atop our loft-like area up here in our humble abode, we can end it here for today. Man. Shoot. Maybe we can't. No, we'll end it here for today. Tomorrow I'll go and visit Aveline. That's what I meant to do. Tomorrow we'll go and visit Aveline. There's some things I need to look into. I need to figure out what's going on with Forbidden Knowledge. That's premium content that I'll get into at some point. I keep telling myself. But, the next part of that quest won't be felt into a while yet. There's some things that we need to tie up in this act that'll kind of like piece together everything that's going on or has been going on. So, yeah. Next time it's either going to be Demands of the Qun or Prime Suspect. And I am not looking forward to it. Maybe we'll do like, maybe we'll have like a little cool down, a little calm down. I mean, I can't really afford to have a cool or a calm down because I really want to finish Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition before Dragon Age Dreadwolf comes out. And with the rate my schedule has been at, I don't know. Maybe it'll be possible. I really want them to take their time because I really want Dragon Age Dreadwolf to be good. But, you know, take their time, no crunch. We have been waiting, but we can wait a little longer if that means the game will be good and polished and ready, and no one has to suffer crunch in order to get it done. So, I'm fine sitting pretty up here, playing through Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition at a leisurely, almost leisurely, but kind of hectic pace. So, I'm alright. I'm good. I can wait. That being said, maybe we'll do the walkthrough of Sundermount and, the Winded Coast. Maybe see about finding the ancient tomes. Maybe see about finding the rest of the Band of Three. So, I'm pretty sure the Band of Three is marked specifically in the codex, that whichever one we found has a corresponding codex entry that goes with it. So it's not just like whatever you find first will always lead to like the first one that you find. It has a specific codex entry depending on location that you will find. So that being said, maybe it'll be easier to find it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened when we finished Act 1, but I will have to look into that because getting those done has been pretty important to me. I like seeing things to finality in a way. So, yeah. In any case, that will be all for today, and until next time.